Hey everybody, Connor here at etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Konig self-tensioning snow tire chains here for our 2017 Kia Sorento with tire size 235/65/17. So these tire chains here are going to be an excellent option for any vehicle, especially our Sorento here. Now the number one feature, the most beneficial feature that we need to point out right away is the self-tensioning technology. Now I'm not sure if you've ever installed any other brand of tire chains before, but generally speaking, when you finish the installation, you have to pull forward, drive back in order to adjust the chains so you can retension them so they stay on the tires better. We're not going to have to do that here with these Konig chains because the self-tensioning mechanism is going to ensure we always have the proper tension to hold our chains onto our tires. So if we bring our attention here to the actual center of the tire where the chains lie, we're going to see this diamond-shaped pattern here. This diamond-shaped pattern is going to be much better than the other style of chain you may be familiar with, such as the ladder style. And what this diamond pattern is going to do is it's going to provide us with more constant contact with the road. We're not going to have any lapses in coverage like we would for the ladder style. And I'd also like to point out that the ladder style can actually create sort of a bumpy ride. It's not near as comfortable as these diamond chains. So overall, a much better design. So in regards to the actual chain construction, you can see we have these D-shaped links here on the side. And what this is going to do is it's really going to bite into the snow or even ice and really give us the best traction possible, helping us corner as well as stop faster. So something else I really like about these tire chains here, if you'll notice the outer chain here, which is what we're going to be using to pretty much install these, it's what we're going to be handling the most, they actually have a coating on them. And what this coating is going to do is, number one, it's going to allow us to easily identify these and distinguish them from the chains that run across the top of the tire. So it's going to help when we're laying them out on the ground and trying to untangle. And something else you may not be aware of until you're actually using these is that when we are out in the cold on the ground, the chains are going to get cold as well, and it's really going to sort of bite our fingers a little bit. It's going to be very cold to the touch. This coating on the outside of the chains here, it's going to make it a lot easier to handle. We're not going to have as frigid, and it's not going to hurt our hands as much. So if we have a car with nice wheels and we're worried about the tire chains damaging them, this is a valid concern, and Konig has thought of this, which is why this kit comes with these nylon bumpers. They're going to snap into the chains here on the exterior here, which are going to protect our wheels from any scratches. So in regards to what comes with the actual tire chains, you actually get quite a lot. Off first glance here, you're going to see this very hard, durable plastic case that we can use to store our tire chains inside the vehicle for when we need them. We're also going to get a set of laminated instructions, which aren't going to deteriorate when we're outside in the wet snow installing these. We also, in this bag here, we have a plastic bag that allows us to store our tire chains in when wet, so we're not getting the inside of our vehicle wet. And we also have a kneeling mat as well. So now that we've gone over some of the benefits and features, let's jump right into the installation process and show you how it's done. So to start our installation today, we want to take out one of our tire chains here. We want to lay it out on the ground in front of us. In this first step here, we're just going to get all the kinks and tangles out of here, making sure none of the chains are crossed and everything's sort of laid out accordingly. So we go to slide it around to the back of the tire. We're not going to have to do that on the back side of the vehicle. Now we do need to pay attention to which side of the chain we have facing down. If we take a look on the outer links here, we're going to see these hook section here. We want these hooks actually to be facing down. That way when we install the chains on the tires, they're not going to dig in and cause any damage. So now we're going to take our chains here, we're going to slide them around our tires. This is a front wheel drive vehicle, so we will be installing these on the front two tires. Now a thing I like to do is, as far as a good little guide to let you know how much of the chain you need to slide behind the tire, we have sort of this middle way point right here where the two chains sort of separate from each other. That's going to line up with about the middle of our wheel. So let's go ahead now and slide that around. Now we're just going to pull our chains out, sort of line it up with that halfway point that we were just talking about. And now the next step is we're going to take our two cabled ends here. We're actually going to loop these around to the back of the tire. bringing up, making our first connection here. And pulling to lock that in place. Now, we're going to slide this back, but before we do so, we want to make sure we pull the chain out over the face of the tire so it doesn't fall back. We're just going to do the best we can to sort of center these sections here on the center of the tire. So now we can move on to our second connection here, which is also going to be at the top of the tire. We're going to take this little coated section here. We have a couple of the gray coated as well as one of the red coated chain links. We're going to run this across here to this red hook. Just going to slide that like so, pull it tight, and then adjust to apply tension. Now we can move down to the bottom of the tire here and make our connection here. We say we have this red plastic loop here. We have this little tensioning mechanism here. What we want to do is we're going to be running it through there. So we're going to want to take the lock off first here, pulling back. And then we can slide that silver leader through there like so. Now we're going to pull tight. We're going to take on the other end here, take our little retractable mechanism with the hook. We're going to hook it on just like so. Now that we have everything installed, these are actually self-tensioning chains, so we're not going to have to worry about making any further adjustments. That's going to do it today for our look and installation of the Konig self-tensioning tire chains here for our 2017 Kia Sorento with tire size 235/65/17.